Hello, my lovely peeps. I'm going to do my little story, My Life After Death. We will continue with the chapter about my therapy. My son Erik is getting therapy up in the afterlife. At one point in my therapy, Collie, that's the therapist, said, Erik, now we're going to look at your other lives. What the fuck? My one life was more than I could deal with. There are others? Wow. That was a surprise for him, I guess. Turns out that I did have other lives. And not only did we discuss those other lives in detail, but she also explained their connections to the life I do as mine. The one that influenced my last life the most was when I was a monarch butterfly, because I had these stages to go through: larva, caterpillar, cocoon, and then a butterfly in flight. There were transformations in that life, both physical and emotional, that taught my soul a lot about growth and change. It was such an incredible journey exploring my life as a butterfly, flying from one country to another, the struggle, the excitement, the community. In my life as Erik, I wanted to have that, but couldn't. I was stuck. My body and my mind were broken. I think that when I was a human in my past life, my soul wanted that same energy from my butterfly life. But it just didn't shake out that way. Revisiting that life helped me understand a lot of feelings I experienced during my life as Erik. In another life, I was this woman in France in the 1400s. In that life, I didn't have a lot of money or anything, but I was wicked smart, especially when it came to growing plants for food. I found out that the best way I could help people was to teach them how to save seeds and exchange them for crops. I worked with the local monks outside Paris who knew that the soil had certain properties and that some plants grow better when they're planted after other crops. Because of this seed sharing thing of mine, I was able to help so many people who couldn't grow food for themselves. That life was so awesome to explore. In it, I felt good in my body, and I helped others in a way that I had wanted to in my life as Erik, especially people who were having a really hard time. When I look back, I see how that life was meant to influence my existence as a spirit guide, whose job it would be to plant the seeds that humans need. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'll tell you guys about being a guide soon. Revisiting those two lives and so many others, and being shown that their connection to my Erik life gave me a sense of wholeness I'd never known before. It helped me see the common thread between all of my lives, and that was my emotional pain. In most of my lives, I developed compassion for others through that pain. I knew that if they felt the pain that I did, then they needed as much compassion as they could get. In some of my lives, the pain was a product of my being given more responsibility than I could handle, and that almost always resulted in disaster. In others, it was because of the death of someone important in my life, like one of my children. Those really made me sympathize with my parents and gave me a better understanding of their grieving process and their emotions and thoughts in general. I think the biggest source of emotional pain came from those lives when I was disappointed in myself and in my relationships. That often made it hard for me to let people in, or it made me push people away. Either way, learning what a relationship shouldn't be helped me learn what it should be. And because each relationship is a mirror of the one you have with yourself, that's pretty cool. Every one of them helped me understand why I was the way I was as Erik. Knowing that the people and my relationships with them made me, dissolved a lot of mystery that made me feel incomplete. And at the end of my first discussion with Collie, I was left with a sense of relief because I knew that all that pain served a good purpose. All right. Thank you, guys. Be sure to check out channelingerik.com and atlantiscalar.com. I'm not going to put captions because I hate editing them, so I'm lazy today. I got a lot to do. All right. Love you all. Bye.